Hi, everybody. Good morning. As we come on live today, there's tectonic shifts in the world of football. Bill Belichick just announced within the last couple of hours that he would no longer be coaching the New England Patriots. He and the owner, Robert Kraft, came to an agreement, and Belichick is exiting after 6 Super Bowls for the old Boston Patriots, now New England Patriots. And then in Alabama, after 51 years of coaching, Nick Saban has announced that enough is enough, and he is moving on to the next chapter of his life. He's been a very astute businessman, and so don't worry about Mr. Saban. He will have plenty to do in retirement. He will also have plenty of money to count. So we're going to get busy today in this Career Live. Thank you so much for joining us. This is now a 7:30 a.m. Thursday morning feature, and we will be on every Thursday, except in the case of holidays or some other reason, and then we'll announce the a special edition of Career Live. Today, we're going to be talking about LinkedIn. Love it, hate it, whatever. It is still the most powerful platform to promote your career. It is a social media platform, and it is, but it is also extremely powerful, and you need to learn how to use it and learn how to tweak it so that you can maximize the benefit. Well, let's talk first about the economy. The economy overall is good. Now, there are people on both sides of the political divide that are making their cases. It's terrible. We're hurting. It's the worst economy in years, job growth. But in fact, the economy has been growing very, very significantly at a 5.9% clip. Job growth is impressive. It continues to go forward. Even with higher interest rates, we've had layoffs, but not significant layoffs, as you see from time to time. And the economy is expanding. But a lot of people aren't feeling that benefit. And if you're looking for a job, you also know that competition is intense for management and executive jobs. Time to hire is exploding. It used to be 4 to 6 months. Then it was 6 to 8 months for an executive level position, C-suite. Today, it's anywhere from 6 to 14, 15 months or longer. And it is producing, for a lot of people who didn't realize that the job market had changed, it is producing a financial hardship, and it is intensifying. And recently, I've had 3 or 4 people come to me and confide that if they don't find a job quickly, they may run out of money and they won't be able to pay their rent. As a 39-year-old woman told me, my God, it's the winter. I don't want to live in my car. And this is not some ne'er-do-well kind of the job is just to pay the bills. This is a young woman who was really investing heavily in her career. She got on the wrong side of a political issue in a merger, and she was laid off with some of her colleagues. She didn't realize the job market had changed, and after 8 or 9 months of going through severance and now into her savings, she thought, my gosh, I need some help. I don't understand what's going on. And she didn't even understand about applicant tracking. She didn't understand about resume customization. And she certainly was struggling in the interview process. So we are talking today about a situation that's really intense. People are hurting economically, and people are struggling to find a job. So let's look at LinkedIn, because it's a useful and important tool in your job search. It is the world's largest billboard. Okay, that's an important word, a billboard. It is not a peer-to-peer linking process, although it can be used for that. It's not going to build relationships. Globally, there are over 1 billion users. 16.2 million are active daily. 200 countries. 249 million look for jobs weekly. That's some of the highlights of their statistics. 67 million businesses are on the platform. That's significant. The demographics, there are more males than females, and then the largest demographic cohort is 25 to 34. Every second, 27 job seekers apply, and that may account for when you apply online and you are told you're number 250 of employees or people who've applied, and it can in some cases be more. 6 people are hired every second. Now, we're talking about 6 people across all segments, all wage and salary scales, from the lowest level to the C-suite. But most of the C-suite searches are being still continue to be handled by executive recruiters or in-house corporate recruiters. 65 million of the 1 billion users are decision makers. That's a significant number. 31 million now are on the creator mode. So we have 1 billion users, but only 39 million have turned on the creator mode. Why is that significant? Because this increases your visibility and builds followers, and that's important. You're going to have to be a lot more aggressive in the future, and we'll explain that in just a minute. You're going to have to be aggressive with LinkedIn, and as other platforms emerge, that's going to be an important strategy as well. Videos are increasingly popular, and live streams really do a good job at helping you advance your career. Now, we're talking about LinkedIn. Why are you showing us a logo for YouTube? Well, LinkedIn is an important brand building platform, but LinkedIn is not a search engine. And so what you post today is not going to be necessarily visible tomorrow. Even if you post articles or you post newsletters, they're not going to be front and center. And it's not necessarily searchable. YouTube is the globe's second largest search engine. It's interesting that it is also owned by the largest search engine. How did that slip through the FTC? But it did, and it's not going to change. YouTube is going to play a more important role going forward. Why? Because younger recruiters in the millennial Gen Z set, and certainly in the alpha set coming up in the next 8 to 10 or 12 years, they are all video oriented. They are short video oriented. YouTube is a search engine, and it will be. There's something about turning on a camera when you're doing a video, and everything in the world, you have your eyes clog up and everything itches. I think that's just an amazing thing. I'm back on point. Sorry about that. My ADHD kicked in. YouTube is going to be a really important element in your search. Why? Because it's video oriented. Why is that important? Because recruiters like videos. Why is that important? Because it's going to be another very, very useful tool for you to tell your story, for you to promote your brand. It's not front and center yet, but it will happen very quickly. Now, a lot of people sit back and say, nah, don't worry about that. When it comes along, I'm real quick and I'll figure it out when I need to. Don't make that mistake, because YouTube is a more sophisticated platform, because you have to understand how the algorithm works and how people see your videos. And that's really, really essential. So start learning about YouTube today. There's some excellent books out there. I recommend Sean Cannell's book, particularly if you are interested in developing maybe a side hustle to provide some insurance against a layoff or a sale of your company. So YouTube is a really important tool. It's not front and center on career promotion now, but it will be very, very shortly. And we're already advising our clients to begin developing their YouTube strategy. Okay, let's go back to LinkedIn, front and center. It's important for you to maintain a laser focus on its utility. Now, a lot of people say, well, LinkedIn's where I find a job. No, LinkedIn is not where you find a job. Although people get hired off LinkedIn all the time, you're going to find a job based on your networking, and LinkedIn is only a tool. It is for research and promotion. Research into identifying potential contacts for you to connect with in targeted companies and in targeted geographies. It is also used to promote your brand. That is critical. And it's critical because increasingly they're using high-speed scanners to recruit people, to identify people they want to talk to. Okay, so for a tool to be useful, you need to know how to use it, whether it's LinkedIn or YouTube. And guess what? Then you must use it. And you have to be very, very intentional in how you're using it. And you need to focus what you do around your career plan, your mission, vision, and values, and your value brand statement. And that should integrate with a comm plan that sets the tone for your content. You can't just willy-nilly go out there and just something catches your fancy and you post it. I did that for years, and it's not helpful. It's not really useful. In fact, sometimes if it gets you in trouble, And the unwritten rule, you got to post regularly, but the unwritten rule is you never post while you're consuming adult beverages. I hope you hear that. Don't consume adult beverages and then say, oh, God, I hadn't done my LinkedIn posting today. I need to go do that. Bad idea. Post and then drink. But you've got to post regularly, and we'll talk about that, the frequency in a minute. But this is really important. When you're posting, you should absolutely be sure that what you're posting reflects favorably on your career plan, aligns with that it's consistent with your mission, vision, and values, and your value brand statement. And that if people see it, they're either inspired by the quotes you post, they're fascinated by the article you post. If you posted a case study on a career success program you helped conceive or helped implement, that also it needs to reflect favorably on who you are and what you're capable of doing. Now, if you're a brand builder, you need to post 2 to 3 times a week. If you're a job seeker, you need to post 4 to 6 times a week. Okay, that's really important. And the best times to post are Wednesday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., 12 p.m. to 3 p.m., Thursday, 9 to 10 a.m., 1 to 2 p.m., and Friday, 9, 11, and 12. Whoa, you say. You said I need to post 4 to 6 times a week. These are the best times to post. These are not the only times to post. And so you need to post. If you're looking for a job, you need to be very, very visible with the kind of content that is going to get recruiters to catch their eye. Posting, you post every time you post something. If it's a repost of an article, your name and your title and your headline is going to show up. Okay, really, really important. So that's why you want to keep posting. You want that headline to show up. You want those scanners to take note. But you also need to post original content, and you need to learn how to post videos. Now, initially, you may start posting videos, say something very inspirational from YouTube, or a short video news thing about a related, relevant topic. Don't get anywhere near politics. Policy is as close to politics as you want to get, and stay away from religion. Okay, a lot of people have strong views on that today. We're entering a period where there's going to be a lot of misinformation. There's going to be a lot of people who are distorting the truth. There are going to be a lot of people who are, have very strong feelings, and they won't hesitate to post them, and they won't hesitate to chase you and troll you if you disagree with them. So just stay away from that kind of stuff. Again, as close as you get to politics is policy relating to your industry and the debates you're having internally about what should happen in the future. Those are legitimate, but stay away from the political side. Now, your LinkedIn strategy must be dynamic. Okay, that is absolutely essential. Your profile is only as good as your content. Now, there are still people out there that have that gray and green sort of YouTube generic background with their picture. Some people don't even have pictures. If you don't have a picture, why go to the bloody effort to have a profile? Because it's not going to really help you. And why have a profile if you don't have content? It's not doing you any good. Take it down until you can, get with the program, because your profile is only as good as your content. You need to create a profile and they will come. Well, that's stupid. That's really ridiculous. It's ludicrous. It doesn't happen that way. And yet there's so many people, that's exactly what they're doing. I see dozens and dozens of profiles that don't have any information. Now, some of these people are creating phony profiles so they can get into the system, so they can kind of troll you for Bitcoins, for some financial scam, for some romantic relationship. And then they'll say, they won't cough, but they'll say, oh, well, let's go to WhatsApp or Telegram because it's much more private. Anytime somebody says they want to be your friend on LinkedIn, that's a flag. And if they want to go off platform to communicate, that's ridiculous. Don't do it. They're trolls. They're scam artists. They're Bitcoin queens. They're nonsense. Stay away from it. Don't waste your time, or don't get yourself in trouble having your platform hacked. And I may get mine hacked because somebody hears me saying this and doesn't like it. Update your content weekly. That falls in line with how often you post. And update your banner quarterly. Why? Because every time you change a picture, change a banner, add something new, significant to your profile, All of your followers are noted. And if you're following recruiters and they're following you, that helps them see what you're up to. As much as you can, incorporate videos and updated photos. Every time you change your photo, I change my profile photo 3 to 4 times a year. And I have a series of pictures I rotate around. Why? Because it just changes it up. And then everybody goes, oh, great photo. I mean, it's sort of like people see this stuff and they'll tell you about it. Recruiters see this stuff. Now, why do we have a LinkedIn profile? Well, it is to help you define your value, and it is to help recruiters and potential employers understand your values. Now, make it easy for recruiters and automated scanners to understand your value. You don't have a headline that does that, you're not going to get the kind of hits that you want to get from recruiters. Your banner remains important for visual presentation. The scanner can't really tell that what the banner is all about. But when recruiters come to your site to check you out, that sort of the quote analog recruiting, it's very, very helpful to have a striking banner that helps people see who you are and what you do. And again, the content, the appearance of your banner, the appearance of your site, whether it's a web page or your Facebook banner or other banner, is less important as it is when it comes to the scanners on LinkedIn. Your content is what it's looking for. Okay, here's the key part of your profile. See my headline, Affordable Career Management and Outplacement. We use a membership model, $49 a month. Other consultants charge $7,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 more and more for outplacement coaching. You see here, we have at the end of this paragraph, career management and career transition coaching. That's what I do. That's what my headline says. We accept connections from people who want to advance their careers. I'm trying to dissuade the trollers. It doesn't really work that much. I love the people who say, oh, I want to get to know you better. And then as soon as you accept the connection, they start hitting you with a sales pitch. I usually disconnect from those people. I have over 16,000 followers, so I'm not really hurting for followers. And so I really don't want to encourage people to just connect and sell. Connecting and selling is a waste of time. Most people, that's one of the reasons most people really are down on LinkedIn, because they're getting bombarded with sales pitches, and that's unfortunate. Now, at the end of this paragraph, you see that I have 5 hashtags. That's the most you can have. And I try to pick hashtags in my relevant field that are popular on LinkedIn. Interview, career coach, career management, that sort of thing. And I change these up periodically. And this is important to do. Now, how do you do that? Well, again, step 1, see the little pencil? That's a symbol for editing. Then you go to this page, which is edit intro, and go down to this box here that says headline. Don't just whip something out and drop it in there. Be intentional, be thoughtful. Does it tell people what you do? Does it communicate your value? Do your hashtags communicate your value? I'm going to revise this headline shortly, because one of the intentions was to cut out the trollers, and I've now got a new strategy to deal with them. So I'm not going to put that in there and take up valuable space. This is what we call above the fold material. When you got back in the days when you still had a morning newspaper, people came to the paper, they unrolled it, and they set it on the table before they began breakfast or coffee, or if they were reading the paper at the office. Everything above the fold was the most important information of the day. And so that's why this is really important. This defines who you are. It's above the fold information. Okay. Here's the takeaways from today as we kind of wind this up. And this is an overview. I'm happy to spend more time and answer any questions. Just schedule a call with me at Talk to John. The button is at the bottom of our homepage, or you can email your questions at info@johngself.com. First of all, as we said earlier, LinkedIn remains the most powerful research and career brand platform, although YouTube is rapidly going to emerge as another key tool for finding a job. Start to understand it now. It's important. It's really, really important you do this. Your LinkedIn strategy must align with your career plan, from branding to search efforts. That's secondly something you just absolutely have to be in lockstep with. Third, you must proactively control your connections. Seek out people who are aligned with your plan, both in terms of career interest, strategic interest, and targeted organizations. This is someplace I would really like to work, or working in an organization like this would be a great step up. If I want to be CEO of a regional health system, or a regional publishing company, or a regional communications company, or an advertising agency, I need to work in increasingly progressive positions, increasingly sophisticated positions, so that I'm ready to make that final move to what I really want to do with my life, what I'm passionate about. Okay. So pick connections that are going to help you do that. Life insurance, real estate, people who want to sell you garbage that probably doesn't work. Don't waste your time with those people. Don't accept their invitations to connect unless they are in geographically a place where you need them to be. Salespeople in areas like medical sales, pharmaceutical sales, the people who are in selling in other industries, they are usually really great sources of actionable career intelligence, or stuff that you say, oh, they're kind of in trouble over there. And when you build a relationship with a salesperson, it's amazing what you can learn over drinks 2 or 3 times a year. So build your connections, be intentional, be sure they're aligned with your plan, both in terms of career steps, geographically, and the next step you'd like to take. Career plans change. Companies' corporate strategies change. Don't not do this because, it's going to change. No kidding. Okay. But you have to have a plan. The research shows that if you don't have a plan, you're not as likely to achieve your full potential in your life. Okay. Think about that. If achieving a certain goal is important to you, you need a career plan. It needs to be written down. That's another thing the research shows. When it's written down, people are more likely to achieve their goals. Okay. In the future, and this is what's going to be helpful to you, and it's also going to be challenging for you. High speed, let's see if this is possible to move this. It is, and I apologize. In the future, high-speed scanners will source more applicants, okay? So now you have recruiters that are sourcing applicants. There are 2 kinds of applicants. There are people that hear about a job or see about a job and take the initiative and submit their resume, submit their application. They're active candidates. Then there are people out there that might be interested, but they might not ever hear about this. And that corporate recruiters, are loath to work the telephones to find candidates. They are post and pray people. So it is what they're doing now. LinkedIn now has a service that if you're a corporation and you're a corporate member, you can use certain of their recruiting tools to target applicants by hashtags, by things in their headlines. So now with their scanners, once you set the algorithm, they can scan thousands of applicants in a matter of minutes. And suddenly there's not 2 or 3 passive candidates. There are 200 or 300 passive candidates. So it's important for you to have a strong LinkedIn profile. It's important for you to be dynamic in how you manage your profile. That is to say, keep it moving, keep it elevated, keep it, changing things out so people know this. Your LinkedIn strategy has to be dynamic. That means posting regularly, change your banner quarterly, and add new professional photo 2 or 3 times a year. When I launched my page, I contracted with a photographer when I was in Dallas traveling, and she was a remarkably talented person. You want somebody who's going to take the time to get your personality. Even if you're just getting a headshot done, not 4 or 5 different settings with 4 or 5 different outfits. If you're in the business that I'm in, where you're constantly trying to appeal to people, then they're changing pictures with different backgrounds, different ties, different coats, that sort of thing, is very, very helpful to have. And I may change it, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a year. When you change it, people are notified that you've changed your profile, added a picture. And that's sometimes will get people traffic to your site, to your profile page. And that's one of the things you want to accomplish. Okay. So, invest some money, get a good picture. Don't do a selfie sitting behind the wheel of a car. That is, you know what that says? I may be a manager, but I am so bush league, you really don't want to talk to me. Because that's what a lot of recruiters think about those kind of photos, or sitting there like this with your arm over your shoulder. Look, you can take a really high quality a high quality casual photo, sitting on the steps, leaning against a post, whatever. Those are great to have. And then when you use a site like Canva, you can actually take the backgrounds out and give you more flexibility in designing career quotes, things like this, content for your web page and your LinkedIn profile. I hope this information has been helpful for you today. We're really delighted to have you with us, and we hope that you'll join us next time for Career Live. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.